Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanaतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपादकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna everyone. So this is chapter 7.7. The verse goes, Matta parataram nanyad kinchit asti dhananjaya mayi sarvam idam protam sutre mani gana iva. Matha, beyond me, parataram, superior, na, not, anyat kinchit, anything else, asti, there is, Dhananjaya, O conqueror of wealth, Mayi, in me, Sarvam, all that be, Idam, which we see, Protam, is strung, Sutre, on a thread, Manigana, pearls, Eva, like. Translation. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. So the sequence is to understand this beautiful verse begins with actually 7.1, where Krishna says, Maya sakta mana partha yogam yunjan mad ashrayaha asamshayam samagram mam yatha nyasyasi tachrunu. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Now hear, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. So Krishna here invites Arjuna to hear from him and become attached to him through practice of yoga, by which he and all of us can know Krishna in full without doubt. To know about Krishna, we must hear from him only. The process of bhakti begins with hearing from the right source, So Krishna says, Tatrunu. The word Tatrunu is very important. The Lord then continues to explain that He is the source of all material and spiritual energies. So in 7.4, Bhumir apanola vayu kammano buddhir evacha ahankara iti yamme binna prakritir ashtada. So Lord Krishna develops this point regarding the entire matter, which comprises of the 8 separated energies of his. Krishna also explains that beyond this, there is another superior energy of his, which is the soul or the living entities. That is in 7.5, he says, Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim viddhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam daryate jagat. Besides this, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind, which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. So Krishna also explains that beyond this, okay, I'm repeating, sorry. I should go on to the next one. So due to which the entire material world is functioning because of the living entities interacting with the inferior material nature. So with regard to the above, the Vishnu Purana in 1.2252, which says, Ekadesha Tirtashyagner Jyotsna Vistarini Yata Parasya Brahmana Shaktis Tattedam Akilam Jagat. So this verse confirms that the energy and the energetic are inseparable. They are simultaneously present. Example, the sun and the sunshine. The heat and light is the presence of the sun. Similarly, we can understand the presence of God by his different energies. So, Krishna continues in 7.6, where he says, Etat yonini bhutani sarvaniti upadaraya aham kritsnasya jagataha prabhava pralayastata. All created beings have their sources in these two natures. Of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution. So Krishna states that the whole manifestation is the presentation of his varied energies, and that there is nothing but he everywhere and in everything, since he is the origin and the dissolution. The opening verse of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.1, Janmadi Yasya Yataha, confirms that the original source of everything is Krishna. Also in 10.8, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, everything emanates from him. The subject matter of the Krishna consciousness movement, as we know, is to understand that Krishna is a supreme, and we can see him with proper vision or experience him as such. Therefore, in 7.7, the verse that we are doing today, Lord Krishna asserts, Mata Parataram Nanyat, there is nothing superior to me. So this verse establishes Krishna as the supreme absolute truth. What is the nature of that supreme, and is he personal or impersonal? Often there is a controversy over whether the supreme absolute truth is the person. Bhagavad Gita confirms in every step that Sri Krishna, the absolute truth, is the supreme personality of Godhead. And this is also the affirmation of the Brahma Samhita verse 5.1, Isvara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. That is, the personality of Godhead is Lord Sri Krishna, the primeval Lord, the reservoir of all pleasure, Govinda, and the eternal form of complete bliss and knowledge, and the prime cause of all causes. Other verses in the Svetasvatara Upanishad 3.8 to 9 substantiate as follows. Vedaham etam purusham mahantam aditya varnam tamasa parastat tam eva vidvanati mrityum eti nanya pantha vidyate yanaya yasmat param na param asti kinchit yasman aniyo no jyayosti kinchit vriksha iva stabdo divi tistati ekas tenedam purnam purushnena sarvam. So in 7.7, the verse for today, in a few short words, Lord Krishna is conveying a message that is very bold and direct, which wipes out the impersonalist idea. Yet, it is also layered with subtleties and nuances. This verse has two parts to it. And Krishna claims that there is no truth superior to him, which may sound exclusivist or dogmatic. But the beauty of this verse is that Krishna gives Arjuna and us a vivid analogy to appreciate his claim in a deeper sense. To say that he is the thread, Sutre Manigana, to say that he is the thread upon which we, the individual pearls, are strung, carries with it some profound implications. In the first half of the verse, Mata Parataram Nanyat, Krishna uses very strong and assertive words to extol his glories, his majesty, and his great opulence. But he doesn't express his supremacy through cruel or tyrannical demands for submission. In the next half of the verse, his sweet and intimate revelation comes through. Sutre Manigana Eva. Here, Lord is exhibiting his two amazing sides. One is his supremacy, but there is also his other side, which brings out his madhurya ras, his sweetness. As God, he shows his greatness, but at the same time, he is showing his accessibility by his sweetness. Both his Aishwarya and Madhurya Rasa are there side by side, and that makes him the complete whole. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam, as said in Ishopanishad. Lord is ever present, providing the foundation upon which we, the living entities, can rest. And knowing this gives comfort. We feel supported and loved. That is an intrinsic part of a greater whole, Om Purnam. Lord Krishna also reminds us that there is a connection between all of us, as different as we might seem, in as much as we experience this world in our journeys as individuals. Krishna is there as the unifying common factor. Lord Krishna also reminds us that there is a connection between all of us. So in the phrase, as pearls are strung on a thread, Krishna is referring to us, the pearls. We are the pearls, and he the thread. Very close and intimate. By this, we should understand that we are all parts and parcels of Krishna, connected to each other in a close relationship with him, as well as all the other pearls that are held together by the thread. Hence, there is unity because we are all part of the same necklace of Krishna. Pearls are rare and valuable. Krishna means to say we are precious. Each and every one of us have value in Krishna's eyes. This shows he is a person with compassion. Even though we are unified as pearls in a well-made necklace, we are still individuals, each with our own characteristic, have a unique place in Krishna's necklace. In spite of being infinitesimal, Krishna considers us as important as one missing pearl from the necklace. Besides this, a well-made necklace doesn't show the thread. Similarly, Krishna has made this world such that even when people try to look for God, no one can find him, like the unseen thread in the necklace. He is sustaining or supporting the pearls by holding them together, and he can be seen only by his own choice, when and if he thinks we deserve his revelation. Only those with a little common sense or knowledge will understand the existence of God, since Krishna reserves the right. So a devotee's vision is that whatever he sees, he will see the soul, the living entity, and the supersoul, the thread. The devotee can see in every pearl the thread running through. Like an unseen thread, he is in the core of our hearts. He is conscious of each and every one of us better than even we know of ourselves. Actually, he is guiding us through our wanderings in this material world. Iswara Sarva Bhutanam in 1861 Bhagavad Gita. Krishna never loses or forgets us, as he is seated within our heart. We are the lost souls who have forgotten or turned our face away from him. Lord Krishna is waiting for the time when we will recognize him, even if we choose to ignore him or think there is no thread holding us together. He is present within us, knowing we cannot exist without him. He is playing his flute and calling us through the devotees, through his deity form, through his presence in the holy name, through the pages of Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, and through his abode in this material world, the temples. But we have no desire, taste to heed his call to revive our connection with him. We can conclude that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is very much a person with a big heart. But the impersonalist, taking the verse from the Svetasvatara Upanishad 3.10, Tattoyat Uttarattaran Tat Arupam. The word Arupam is important here. They take that as their strength of argument to focus on this word, Arupam. The impersonalists misinterpret transcendence. That is, Krishna has no form, no love, no emotions, and therefore no opportunity for service. Actually, this word indicates that the Lord has no material form, a form that we can see with our imperfect vision. He has a transcendental form of eternity, bliss, and knowledge, which the pure devotees can see in their heart of hearts, with eyes tinged with the salve of love. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. Brahma Samhita 5.38. So, Matta Parataram Nanyat. This statement is very clear. But no, the impersonalist interprets Krishna to be the manifestation of the impersonal Brahman. Lord Krishna decries this idea. He is making known to all, in no uncertain terms, his supreme position, that he, in his original form, who stood before Arjuna, is the ultimate supreme truth, the principle on which everything rests. Thus, he has summarized all the Vedic knowledge in this verse itself, 7.7. And here, just a thought, Krishna is intentionally calling Arjuna Dhananjaya, conqueror of wealth. Could it be that in a world that puts a premium on wealth, that is money, cars, house, etc., the real treasure waiting to be discovered is actually us, the self within, and the people around us? We are the precious pearls, seen and appreciated by others. He is the thread, simple and unseen, performing the thankless task of holding everything together. A beautiful necklace is one in which the pearls get the praise. Nobody compliments the thread. There is something really awesome about a God who is content to remain invisible, who is glorified by allowing his creation to receive the glory. That verse in Brahma Samhita 5.40, Yasya Prabha Prabhavatto Jagad Andakoti Koti Shvashesha Vasudadi Vibhuti Binnam Tad Brahma Nishkalam Anantam Ashesha Rupam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. So this verse gives a hint of how we might aspire to be. It reminds us how sacred and powerful humility truly is. By realizing Krishna as that supreme authority, and our duty is to please him, our life becomes successful. And actually, I wasn't too sure that we have enough time, but there are also other verses, various verses in Brahma Samhita that establishes Krishna as a personality. 5.32, which says, Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sad Ujjwala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. And then there's another one, 533, Advaitam Achyudam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayavvanam Cha. I've forgotten already the other part of it. And then Labam Atma Bhakto Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. And then there's one more also, 535. Eko Pirasaya Chaitum Jagad Andakotim Kotishvashesha Vasudadi Vibhuti Binnam Tad Brahma Nishkalam Anantam Ashesha Rupam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. So in 532, which starts with Angani Yasya, it is about his transcendental form. And then the 533, it says he is a person. And then in 535, he presents in his fullness in every atom that exists within the universe. And then in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.28, Ete chamsa kala pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead from whom all incarnations appear. So I finish here. I hope this is helpful.
Woo! That was awesome.
Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. And beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful, Mataji.
Very nice.
This is one of my favorite verses, Mataji.
Yes, it's my favorite verse too.
Is it? Oh, okay. Actually, chapter 7, the whole of chapter 7, it's just so beautiful. And also, chapter 7 is where Bhakti chapter is starting.
Begins.
So
Yeah.
7, 8, 9, it's just all so beautiful, no? But this verse, it just strokes my heart like anything.
I totally get that because almost literally what you have said is what I had also thought about.
Mhm.
And it's just amazing. It's just beautiful. Thank you so much. That was just beautiful.
Because this verse is like very personal.
It is.
It is very personal, this verse. So I love this verse. And
It is.
simple as well. It's just 2 lines, not much even, so little words.
And so powerful.
Yeah, yeah.
So powerful.
True, true. Yeah.
Does anybody have anything to add? Yes, Daddy?
Her presentation was fantastic. Especially, I felt her Sanskrit pronunciation is superb, exemplary, and phenomenal.
Yes.
That is what you are going to conduct a class on pronunciation. For that, she had set an example for.
True, true, very true.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Excellent. Awesome. Does anybody else have any?
That's why when you mentioned about it, I mean, usually I'm really very hesitant, but when you mentioned about 7.7, I thought I really need to go for it.
Just one question, Mataji. How did you even collect all this, and how did you even? It's like I couldn't even imagine so many points. How do you, like so much of research into various topics and various texts? Like
No, because when you sort of get into all the different verses from like Brahma Samhita and all, this all gives the fact that we need for this verse actually. It's all contained, like Brahma Samhita, as Mataji was telling the other day, the whole Brahma Samhita, if you know about Krishna already. Everything about Krishna you'll know.
And
So a lot of the facts I get from Brahma Samhita.
Brahma Samhita is the most powerful work in my opinion. And in
Yes.
fact, Prabhupada says that as well. He says for preaching, if you know the Brahma Samhita, that is more than enough.
Yes. Yeah.
So the Brahma Samhita, you can actually, each verse, you can slice and dice in different ways, and there is so much analysis that you can actually do to understand the supremacy. Like Mataji said, this verse is both Aishwarya and Madhurya. So when Krishna says, I mean, look at the first line. Mattaha parataram nanyad kinchidasti, Dhananjaya. Kinchidasti. Not even a little bit. Mattaha parataram asti. So there is not even a tiny anything. See, already parataram means higher. Then he says, Mattaha parataram na anyat, not there. Then he says kinchid. So there is nothing higher, not even a little bit higher. So even if you think of something and you say, oh, little higher, maybe this is nothing absolutely is higher than me. I am the greatest. Challenge me if you will.
Actually, when you listen to that first part alone, then people will think, oh, this God is somebody who is like a tyrannical person. He commands respect. He wants.
Yes. He's an egotist.
Egoist.
I am the greatest.
Yeah.
And the second line he goes, Mayi sarvam idam protam. Mayi sarvam. In me. So even that actually has a sense of majesty in it. Mayi sarvam. Mayi means in me. Saptami vibhakti. Mayi. In me. Sarvam idam. In me, everything, all that you see is in me. And then he says, Sutre Maniganaiva. How beautiful is that? Who is the money? It should be him, right? Because after all this, who should be the money? Who is the precious gem? He says, no, not me. I'm just the thread. all you living entities, you are the jewels. You are the jewels. And if we are jewels, what does that make us? So
Precious.
precious, exactly. Precious. We're all precious. What else are we?
What did you ask, Mataji?
I said, what else are we? So we are rare, we are precious, we are valuable. What else are we? Yes, Vidushi?
We're, as Mataji said, we're all connected to each other, and Krishna is the
all-
connecting factor. So
Yes, so we are all connected to each other,
Mhm.
right? So because just look at a necklace, and if one pearl is fallen off or is just missing, or there is a gap, it's not a very precious necklace.
No.
It definitely needs repair, right? So yes, we are all connected to each other. What else? Who are we actually?
Parts and parcels.
Yes, we are parts and parcels of Krishna himself. So while he is the most powerful, that makes us powerful as well. Okay, so why is he calling us gems? Why is he calling us money? The reason he's calling us money is because we are precious. Why are we precious? We are precious. Why are we precious?
Oh, we belong to him.
We belong to him. That's right. In a family, who's the most precious? The father, mother, child.
Father,
Who's the
father.
most precious?
Father.
No, the child is the most precious. Isn't it? You ask the father, who is the most precious? The child. Mother, the child. The child, me. The child is not going to say, my father is most precious. No, he goes, me, I'm the most precious. In the family, the child is the most precious. We are his children. We are most precious. Sutre, money. What else? What else is when you look at pearls? What else comes to mind?
The purity and the Sweta Varna is itself is purity. The pearl signifies purity.
Yeah, so preciousness, purity. Yeah. So in our original form, we are pure.
Pure.
Correct?
As soul.
As in our original Swarupa, we are pure. Yeah, very good. What else? Each and every pearl is an individual pearl.
Different from others.
Each and every pearl is an individual pearl. But they all come from the same source. Doesn't make them the same as the source. When we talk about Achintya Bheda Bheda, what are we saying? That is our philosophy, isn't it? Achintya Bheda Abheda. Bheda means different. Abheda means the same. So each pearl is different from the pearl next to it. They may all look the same. In some pearl necklaces, especially the most costly pearl necklaces, all the pearls look the same. And these are not, I'm not talking about the cultured pearls. The cultured pearls can be cultured to look the same. When you talk in terms of real pearls, the natural pearls, getting pearls that all look the same is very, 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 very rare. So we all look the same. We may all look the same. We all have 2 hands, 2 feet. All of us have material bodies. But we're all different. We all come from the same source. But that doesn't make us as powerful as that source. So he is the supreme infinite. We are the infinitesimal. And like Mataji said, you know, some pearls may be big, some pearls may be small. Pearls may come in different colors, black, white, yellow, blue, whatever colors we want. Yeah. Look at the tree, it's green and brown. Look at the flower. Yeah, look at the rabbit, it's white. Look at the cat, black or orange. Human beings come in so many different colors. We may come in any different color, shape, size, whatever. But individually, we are all zeros. Put us together, there is value in that necklace. What does this tell you about the world today?
No unity.
Disunity. We have so many wars. Every day we have someone fighting with someone else. Why? Because we don't recognize that we are all pearls. That we all are connected. We've heard this, right? All of us are connected. How are we connected?
In the relationship.
Relationship, but what kind of relationship?
Because we're souls connected to the Supreme Soul, so we're all connected.
True. And also the Supreme Brahman runs through all of
All of
us.
us. Yeah.
Correct?
Paramatma. Yes,
Paramatma and the Brahman who connects everything, who is the Supreme Consciousness.
Yes.
Yeah. So the Supreme Consciousness runs through all of us. The Paramatma sits in all of us and guides us. And ultimately, we all come from the same source. So, although we may all look different, behave differently, individually, we have no value. But together, we have value because we are connected. A pearl that falls off and rolls away is lost. It's only the pearls that are left on the necklace get salvaged. And the necklace gets repaired. The one that's fallen away, gone, lost, is lost. So yes, we are individuals, but we should realize that we are connected. That's very important to note. And you know, yeah, that's what Brahman level. And if you look at a necklace, suppose it's a beautifully designed necklace, you know, you have small pearls and then coming up to a large pearl. If one pearl in the middle somewhere here, you know, falls off, what's the necklace going to look like? It's lost its value completely. Completely lost its value. So every one of us has value on that necklace. We all have a role to play. We all have a role to play. In God's creation, God has created us for a reason. We all have a role to play. What is that reason? He knows and we know. When the time comes, we know. And it's our choice to accept it or to reject it. Because again, we say Krishna is so merciful. Why is he so merciful? What is the ultimate pinnacle of his mercy? What's that, Vidushi?
He stays with us no matter where we go, and like any lifetime, he stays with us. So,
okay. What else?
Yeah, his parts. So that's the main reason.
He wants us to go back to him. He comes to just take his children to his abode.
Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. He says, I am your well-wisher. What does a well-wisher do? A well-wisher is one who never judges you for what you are. He constantly guides you. He's constantly pointing you in the right direction. He never, ever coerces you or forces you to do anything, which is what Krishna says at the end. Vimarsheta dasheshena yatechasi tatha kuru. Think about it, do what you like. I'm not going to force you. I've told you everything. That is the job of the well-wisher. I'll give you all the pros and cons. Forcing, that's not my part. So at the end, when we are presented with what we are supposed to do in our life, it's our choice to accept it or reject it. Yeah. This, as pearls, we have a very special role. Each pearl has a special role. One pearl falls off, it denies its role. That's it. Yeah. And how is Krishna the thread?
He's holding all the pearls together.
Yes, he's the maintainer, the sustainer. He's the one who is, because of him, dharyate jagat. He says that it's all these living entities that cause creation. But the ultimate cause of everything, Sarva Karana Karanam, is Krishna. If he is not supporting us, he is not maintaining us. And that is his role. And like Mataji put it so sweetly, that's his deep humility. He does not even show himself. Oh my God, just imagine if I had done something good in my life, I would be screaming it from the rooftops. I did it. I did it. You didn't see it. Go see it. I did it. And Krishna, think of Buddha avatar. What is Lord Krishna's role in the Buddha avatar? What is his role? Yes?
No killing, so he doesn't want any himsa of any living entity.
And how does he achieve that?
He rejects the things in the Vedas, Mataji.
He achieves that. How does he achieve that, Vidushi? He achieves that by setting an example.
Is that by denying the Vedas? To what end?
The sacrifices in the Vedas, so he stopped, or he doesn't support them.
What is the reason he gives?
Animal killing.
Life, everybody, every living entity has Paramatma, as every
No, he says there is no God.
Shunyavadi.
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. Shunyavadi means what? Zero. Shunyam. Zero. There is no God. That is Buddhist philosophy. There is no God. He denies God. Who is he? God.
He is God.
He is God. Can you think of anyone more humble and more caring, more merciful, more compassionate than this person who denies his own existence so that a chicken can live? would you and I don't know about you, but I be in a position to ever do that? I don't think so. My ego is just too big. Oh, chicken, that's okay. It's only a chicken. Right? That is Krishna. That is the Supreme Lord. When we say Krishna is God, this shows that he is God. He is the best of everything. He is the highest in humility. He is the highest in compassion, the highest in mercy. He is the one who will never, ever force you by saying, I am God, therefore do what I tell you to do. This is God. He has zero ego. He has zero ego, no ego. There's no sense of I, me, I, me, myself, my three best friends. And that is so sweetly brought out in this verse. Even here, what does he say? He's talking about all that. And then he says, Sutre Maniganaya. All that, yeah, but actually I'm just the sutra, you guys are just so precious. I am the supreme, I am everything, but you are so precious. Does this sound like a father talking to a small child? Yeah. You know what, child? I'm actually the king of this place. But you come here, my darling, you are so precious to me. This is the supreme personality of Godhead. He's the supreme person because only a person can have qualities. And this verse brings out so many qualities of the Lord. He may be the thread. He may be just a humble thread, but he knows everything. He is Antaryami. He's sitting in every living entity. What does he say? Vedaham samatitani, vartamanani charjana, bhavishyani cha bhutani, mam tu vedana kaschana. I know the past, present, future of not just you, Arjuna, of every living entity, of everything that is going to happen. Mam tu, but with respect to me, Veda na kaschana, not even one person can know about me. That is how finely he runs through. And like Mataji said, it is so easy to deny his existence because you can't see him. Isn't it? All of us pearls looking around, do we see a thread running past us? Where is the thread? What thread? Which is why people say, oh, there is no God. There's nothing higher. I'm the doer. I've worked so hard. I've done everything. Which brings us to, like Mataji said, unless he wants to show himself to us, there is no way we can see him. Remember in the arguments for existence of God, why can I not see God? Tarka pratishthanat. He cannot be seen through logical arguments. You cannot infer the existence of God through logical arguments. He has to show himself. He has to reveal himself. And that he makes it clear by saying, I'm supreme. I'm supreme means what? I can do what I want. I don't have to show myself to you. I'm telling you I exist like the thread. If you choose to disbelieve that, that's entirely fine. I don't have to show you myself. What a beautiful verse. I mean, this is a verse, like you said, Martin, it's an amazing verse. It's just so beautiful, so beautiful. Just so beautiful. So, any questions for Mataji?
Not quite a question, Mataji, but I thought it was amazing because whenever I read this, I always thought that the worlds rested on Krishna. So that was my perspective, was that, you know, all the worlds, the you know, spiritual worlds, material, that rests on Krishna. That was my understanding. But I never thought about it in terms of people and living entities, and that's just amazing. Thank you.
Okay. The reason that it actually refers to all the living entities and not just the worlds is because when you look at the previous verse, which is why, you know, you need to go sequentially, and sometimes, you know, when you go to a verse, it's important to look at the previous one. There, what does he say? He says, Etad yonini bhutani sarvani tyupadharaya aham kritsnasya jagatah prabhavah pralayah tatha. So he says, Yonini Bhutani. Bhutani means living entities. Prabhupada translates it as everything created. Yeah, but it also means all living entities. So I am the source, the yoni, the womb of every living entity. And Kritsnasya Jagataha Prabhavaha Pralayah. And I am the creator, source of manifestation and annihilation of the world. So it's not only just the world, but also the living entities in that world. And the verse before that, again, he's talking about jivas. Apareyamitastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. So what is he talking about? Jiva bhutam, living entities. So the thread here is jiva. So before that, he hasn't talked about the jivas at all. Before that, he has talked about the 8 prakriti bhinna ashtada. Okay, he's talked about the 8 material energies. Then he talks about the jiva, the tatastha shakti. And then he continues on that. So when we go through the verses, we go to the previous one. And if we look at the next verse, what is the next verse? It says, Rasoham apsu kaunteya. So it's a totally different topic. Right? So then, which means over there, he's finished talking about jivas. And now he's going to go on and talk about why mattaha parataram nanyad. So when he says mattaha parataram nanyad kinchid asti, he's giving us examples of why he is the parataram. He is the paratamam.
Thank you, Mataji.
Anything else? Okay, so text 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, up to 12. Who would like to do? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What happened?
Mataji, I will do it.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
No problem. Thank you.
So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And after that, we have, we'll hand out the next one also. We have 13. Yes. 13, 14.
13
and 14. Who would like to do that? Okay, Vidushi. 13 and 14, yeah? Okay. So Aditya Prabhu and then Vidushi after that. So next week we'll look at the next set of verses. Okay. So shall we stop here today then? Mataji, thank you so much for such a wonderful, pleasurable. I mean, this was like absolute blissful, complete bliss. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, goodness.
opportunity.
So let's meet next week.
I'll wait for another favorite verse of mine to come.
Okay, which one is it? We'll hand it to you right now.
Not yet, not yet.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.